Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back to my Body and Heart Tower Therapy. I'm here to do reading for the month of March 2020 or whatever's left of it. Don't ask. All right, so let's see what's going on, Sagittarius. We're going to have tomorrow, I think. So probably today for you. It's going to take forever to upload this video. It's going to be a full moon in Virgo, so let's roll with that. Hope you make the best of it. I don't really remember the aspects, to be honest, so I'm not going to give you a speech on that. But do look it up for yourself. Virgo energy can be very useful in terms of helping us to... yeah, I know this sounds a little bit stereotypical, but to put ourselves in order. And our lives and stuff, but I'm sure it's being challenged by other aspects, so yeah, I don't really know what's going on this time. Let's just see what the cards have for you, my dear Sagittarius. So this is a general reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Nice. 4 of Wands as your current energy. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. Take what works for you and let the rest go. It's a collective reading, right? For all you Sagittarius, let's see what's your challenge for this month of March. Okay, so you have the 7 of Cups as your challenge. Maybe a little bit foggy headed. See what's your focus. Page of Wands is your focus. And see what's your advice. Oh, the Magician is your advice. Right. Now let's see what's the future energy. Queen of Wands. Hell yeah. Alright, and the Knight of Cups as your underlying energy, theme of your reading. What you're working with this month on general basis. Now let's pull the clarifiers before we get into this story, but it seems quite good so far actually. A light month for a change. Let's see if it stays like that. And not very jumpy, the cards, as opposed to the other signs. Okay, so 3 of Wands is your current energy with the 4 of Wands. Interesting. Okay. See what's your challenge here. The Hanged Man is your challenge with the 7 of Cups. Alright. Ace of Cups with the Page of Wands is your advice. No, as your focus. Sorry. The Empress with the Magician as your advice. This is really good energy, Sagittarius. Strength with the Queen of Wands. Strong Leo energy as your future energy. Alright, and bottom of the deck we have the 7 of Pentacles with the Knight of Cups as the underlying energy. And yeah, 7 of Pentacles talks about assessment, but it's an assessment of something that's pretty physical. I don't know. How do you feel at your workplace or in your business or whatever it is that you do for a living? Does it work for you? Does it not work for you? How are you investing your money? Where are you putting your time in? It's usually about like kind of what you're planting and what you're getting, and if you're okay with that, it's just checking in. But it's checking in with some type of an analytical approach. That whole Virgo full moon that we were talking about, that's a really good tool. And the Knight of Cups the nights talk about expansion. So I think that you're willing and able to expand your emotional realm here. And if I connect these two right now, okay, sorry about that. So if I connect these two, I think that maybe you're assessing and you're checking in with where do you put your time and energy regarding what you love, and regarding about how you're sharing of yourself, and regarding this whole coming into the world with an open heart, and that type of expansion of your emotional realm. So I think that you're going to learn this month a little bit what works for you and what doesn't, in that respect, being able to keep your heart open and be curious and creative, and more, I guess, just really open. It's important to be open if you can. But it seems that this month you're working with that, you're working towards that. That's what it feels to me. And the Three of Wands and the Four of Wands, which is like obviously a growth, and you have the Queen of Wands just there, and the Page. It seems to me that you've taken some decisions, and you're moving forward towards some type of stability in your belief system, and creating a type of foundation that can help you, to not be searching all the time. It's beautiful to philosophize, it's beautiful to ask the questions, but sometimes we also need to just come into the world and live the life. And once to talk about spirituality in general, and belief system. What is it that's valuable for me? What's my life philosophy? This type of stuff. And of the Three of Wands, you've been searching, you've been asking some questions, you've been finding some answers, and you start like planning forward. With the Four of Wands is building up that stability, and maybe having also some recognition that, I don't know, your ideas work, or what what you've been putting together. You get some type of confirmation for that. Maybe meet like-minded people, maybe even get some type of this looks awfully public. Who knows, maybe giving a speech at a university, I don't know, that for some of you. But it's a good time. It really is a good time. And it's a good reminder also for you to give yourself the recognition, and to check into what were your achievements and how did you get there, and maybe feeling grateful for your journey so far, with the good and the bad and the ugly. But really looking at, I don't know, what have you achieved, and I don't know, look back at where you were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I'm just making up numbers here. And relate to who you were back then and who you are today, without idealizing and glorifying the past. Be honest, this is an assessment, right? And remember, this is also about being able to be more open. And we are more open when we feel safe, when we have some type of stability, when we're not constantly searching to see kind of how to make sense of my universe. It's good to stop every once in a while and philosophize and ask the hard questions. But when you do have some type of stability, make use of it, because it can be very thriving periods for you, when you can get things moving, you can get things done. That's what I have apparently for the current energy. And for as your challenge is the Seven of Cups and the Hanged Man. So it may be challenging for you right now to make the same type of assessment, but about your emotional um, body and your emotional experience. It may be also that you can feel kind of dragged by your emotions into having a, well, it is Pisces season still. We're gonna move into Aries really soon, which will fire you up. Look at this queen here. Look at these cards here. Come on, these are amazing cards. Um, you may feel quite emotional these days, and that can make you feel like a little bit dreamy and lightheaded, and maybe it's hard for you to see the big picture or to see things differently. Maybe you're looking at all the things that didn't work, and you maybe sometimes get stuck into all past emotional experiences and assume that somehow that's going to be the same. If you just open up a little bit more, if you just go out there and be more bold and follow your passion and your heart and express yourself more creatively. Now it's also talk about expression and communication messengers. So yeah, it's emotions aren't always easy, and this is why we need to do these check-ins every once in a while and see yeah, kind of taste into what is it that we're carrying with us as an emotional baggage. And it is important to take this different perspective of the hangman and to see where we need a break, where we need some time, where we need to look at things differently, and maybe to see um where we're perpetuating, or where we're addicted to certain emotions that can be both negative and positive. We can get addicted to our negative emotions just as well. But listen, whatever happened in the past, you don't need to necessarily project that into the future. There may be different people into your life. There's obviously different times, different energy, different climate in so many different ways. And by letting go of this emotional baggage that you be carrying, you allow yourself to come into curiosity and open-heartedness. It's a good thing to do this type of assessment now, and using this Virgo energy that's with us. This could mean, as I said, feeling drippy, maybe feeling over emotional, maybe also feeling as if you've sacrificed stuff, or being a martyr or things like this. Check in with that too, and don't take your emotions as a full authority. Yes, it's good to feel into them. Yes, it's good to honor our emotions, but don't assume that they're always we sometimes misinterpret our emotions. Yes, they are messengers. Yes, they are our guides, basically. There's like, we can use them as a compass, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. But sometimes we can misinterpret them so wrongly, to them thinking or saying that if this doesn't feel good, oh no, it's my intuition telling me this is bad or this is good. Check in again. Try to differentiate between what's intuition and what's fear. It's an important step in this growing up process that we're all going through, or let's say evolution of consciousness. And this Seven of Cups, basically, that the scope of this type of work is to really get under the layers of fear and under the layers of just craving and looking at the glittery stuff and being distracted and dreamy, look under those layers and really feel what we really desire, to think big, to dream, what do we really dream of, and using our intuition to guide us to get there. And I wanted to finish that whole thought of how else do we misuse our emotions. Sometimes if I feel bad in a situation, I can feel bad for let's try to come for an example that makes sense. And I'm not great with examples, so bear with me, please. um Yeah, say for example, I'm at a table and I'm with a few friends. There was actually a video I saw recently, and it was a good example of that. And for example, let's say that these people make a joke, and I feel uncomfortable with that joke, but maybe I don't they don't mean it in the way that I understand it. So I'm starting like creating some type of resistance because I'm feeling offended. So, but it's actually my own projection. It's my um maybe I've been my nervous system has been overcharged a little bit on my way to this meeting with these friends, and maybe I had something on the back of my head as well that was I haven't had time to really process. And when we are actually charged with if our nervous system is charged, we tend to automatically come into a space of projection where we feel that everyone around us is more like neutral. People tend to look negative to us, like somehow aggressive or so, because that's what we do when we're charged, when we're triggered. It's a defense mechanism. So it's really important to understand your emotions for what they are. We need to like almost decode them. What does that really mean? When I'm in a fight with somebody and I say, you make me feel like this and you make me feel like that and you make me, no, I feel like this. Nobody makes me feel like that. There are my emotions, and I feel like this based on my own inner process and so on. And it's up to me to put the certain boundaries and communicate what needs to be communicated. But I can't just throw it on the other person. You made me blah 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 blah. You make me do this. You make me feel that. It's a long topic. Some people have a lot of resistance to that, myself included sometimes, to be honest. But yeah, it's a challenging part right now of this whole checking in. Maybe your emotions are not exactly easy to understand at this point, and you need this fresh perspective, just looking at things a little bit different. And that's what you need to question this month. When are your emotions describing the reality that you think it describes, or is just that you're so trapped into them that you can't really see you can't see the forest from the trees, let's put it this way. Your focus though is the Page of Wands with the Ace of Cups, which is a really nice and playful energy, and very, very open and beautiful. It's that heart opening, and I think that happens the moment you take things less seriously and you take your emotions again less seriously. Yes, they inform us when we feel good, when we feel bad, when we're scared, when we're excited, when it's good to be present with emotions. But just as much as I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my emotions either. And emotions are, most importantly, need to be felt and released, not to hold on to them, not to try to attach ourselves to certain emotions and push others away because we don't like them. That's when we create blockages. Resistance is the one that's most painful, not the emotions themselves. So if we are being present with all our emotions, both negative and positive, and we look at it with more curiosity and playfulness. And I know to some people this may sound like crazy. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's at least how it sounded to me in the beginning when I first started hearing about this type of work. And I was like, what are you talking about? How can I not take my emotions seriously? Or how can I, what do you mean I'm not my thoughts? I don't know. What do you mean I can't take my thoughts seriously? They're my thoughts. If I thought they're the absolute truth, they're not. And some of you already know that, and you have done some of this work. Some of this, as I said, this may sound a little bit crazy, but try it out for yourself. Just try it out for yourself for a moment, and allow a little bit of playfulness in this process. If you feel, I don't know, as you're tasting into this emotional baggage, you may really change how you believe about yourself and what you believe, like what's the stories that I'm telling myself here. Oh, I'm feeling this bad because I'm bad. Or is just a bad feeling that's passing and has nothing to do with who I am. If I'm feeling sad all the time, oh my God, I'm such a sad person, I'm such a loser. Or there's something in my life that really needs attention, and it's crying for attention, and I'm learning how to get in touch with that part of myself and learn what I need. And most of the time all this shit comes from a long time ago. We've been carrying emotional baggage for our entire lives, and much of it comes from early childhood. So sometimes doing inner child work, but in a more playful way, kind of allowing your child to come out. I remember I was after a period of very intense self-work, spending time in retreats and in mindfulness centers, and living a rather retreat life for more than a year. And I was in a period when I was having so much fun with myself, all by myself. I was barely meeting any people. I was feeling very social, and that was rather new to me, because before that I was craving social activities all the time. This time I was like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun by myself. Not to say that I wasn't feeling all the because I was in a period of deep release, and my emotions would literally go like that, like there was a very rapid cycling going in there. And it was tough to be present with that, because my tendency before was to simply dissociate, which now living in a city again with all the distractions, it's more easy to do again than it was back then when I was living in I don't know, a remote area in nature and with animals and the sea next to me. Oh yes, I miss the sea. Sorry. The point was that I was able to really take it all much lighter. I was getting used to the waves of emotions, and I was kind of letting them flow. And now I was crying, and now, I don't know, half an hour later, I was laughing at myself. It might have looked a little bit crazy from the outside. Luckily, I was on an island in Thailand where everybody was doing a lot of inner work, so it wasn't that crazy, that weird. It was like a lot of interesting experiences and personal experience everybody was going through. And your average conversation where you meet up for a coffee would be like, oh my God, or what's your spirit animal, or what I don't know, transforming experience have you been through, and I don't know what workshops. That was like the daily conversation. Anyhow, that's kind of like what you're required, I think, to do right now, with this focus being on the page of Wands and Ace of Cups. Allow your inner child to come out and play. Allow yourself to flow with all this, and to, again, not take it so seriously. It comes and it goes, the bad, the good, the ugly, the everything. Like Buddhists say, everything is impermanent, my darlings. And with all that, your advice is the Magician and the Empress. And this is a big deal, because it's also major arcana, and it's also these are very empowering energies. The Magician obviously is about having everything at your disposal, learning how to work with the primary energies that are available to you. As above, so below. This type of knowledge of the universe, maybe understanding archetypes and understanding how the archetypes work. We are pretty much doing a tarot reading. That's what the tarot is based on, the archetypal journey. The magician is an initiator. He is a number one. It's a beginning. It's a whole new beginning, and he creates this new beginning as he finds fit. It's like a manifestation, but that depends a lot on what you understand of manifestation. I'll take it with a lot of kindness and with a lot of look, the nurturing approach. Don't look at it as like, oh my god, what am I manifesting? There must be something I'm doing wrong, or I'm not good enough, or blah blah blah. Look at this person is so I don't know, abundant. That means that they got things right, and I'm not that abundant, so I'm getting things wrong, so I'm not manifesting correctly. That's not how I see it. I'm not fitting into that type of thinking. The way I see it is that we come into this world and we make we sign a karmic contract with our soul. So when we incarnate into this like physical, very like a carnal reality, we come with a mission, and the mission is not that much about other people as it is about me, not the me, the meaty me, the more like my soul's journey. Well, my soul's journey is actually part of the evolution of consciousness of all this planet and actually of the whole universe. So yes, it's obviously about other people as well, but you know, that type of like fractalic type of way, what you see into the microscope is just a different version of what we're seeing here and what we're seeing in the macro universe. And I think that just to finish that whole thought with the karmic journey, like that whole story of the manifestation and the law of attraction. I don't think it's as I mean, like there are layers to it, and I think this is that superficial as people put it out there most of the time, because we are coming here with different soul ambitions. For example, in astrology, you can get a lot of understanding about this, like why you're having certain experiences, what is your soul trying to achieve through those lessons, what is it that it's trying to grow towards, what is it it's trying to incorporate as a human experience, in order to grow rounder and more complete as a soul. It's evolution of consciousness. So you can't really compare yourself to the abundant guy or the, I don't know, fitness girl or whatever it is that you feel you come short of. Because maybe your soul experience is supposed to be something else. Maybe you're supposed to be I don't know why I keep talking about abundance. It doesn't need to be abundance or beauty or whatever. These are just easy things to pick on because people generally tend to compare themselves a lot in this respect. How abundant I am, how abundant, I don't know what I said earlier, how my achievements, bank accounts, how I look, or this type of stuff, how many friends I have, or how good my partner looks, or whatever, how many PhDs he or she has. I've heard that one too, yes. So you are here to honor your own journey and to learn about it and to learn to connect with it from this wonderful place of acceptance, of ownership, and of, again, flowing. This is like the Empress, she's like sitting there. She doesn't go out there, she doesn't ride a horse to the end of the world to get things happen. The magician is teaching you, you've got what you need right in front of you. There are these elements right here. Learn how to use them for your to honor your journey, and do so with this detachment that when you know you're safe, when you know that you can play around, when you know that we are all love and everything is based on love, and all the experiences that you had in your life are actually happening, so you can come closer to that acceptance of love. The Empress is the embodiment of loving kindness, pretty much. She's nurturing, she's loving, she's owning it. This is not, she's she's creative, she's expressing, she's connected with the earth and with the cycles. She doesn't hurry into any direction. She owns everything. She's the Empress. So in this whole process of checking in and learning what works for you and what doesn't, and how to taste into it, and how to keep your heart playful and open, and how keep yourself playful and open. Remember that you are the creator here, co-creator, and with the Empress, well, you're definitely own it, and whatever you're creating in this reality, add a drop of love in it and kindness. And future energy, you have the Queen of Wands with the strength. So that's full ownership of yourself. That's really an embodiment of this fiery feminine energy. And it's full ownership of your impulses and your wild side, allowing yourself to be wild as well, and allowing yourself to connect with your body, allowing yourself to be a living, breathing being, fleshy. Allow that if you've had been like maybe too focused on your spiritual mind, or on your inner work, or on your emotions, it's time to, I don't know, maybe have some more physical stuff, enjoy in life, pleasure. And also if the Empress talks about that. We have Venus in Taurus, right? That's pretty much enjoying life's pleasures and getting into the body. Sensuality, my love. Allow it in whatever. If you have a partner, maybe really go the extra mile to really enjoy the romantic nights and sexuality and all that. If you don't have a partner, maybe really enjoy spending some quality time with yourself, and maybe to touch yourself in ways that aren't just okay, let's do a quickie, 1K. God, am I talking about? It's really about connecting to this part, connecting with your sexuality, connecting with your inner strength, with your power, and not dimming your power down in order to not scare other people off, or not intimidate people, or because you didn't believe fully in yourself. But that's why we're doing all these check-ins with the sevens, right? The pentacles and the emotions. See what you put in your energy, see what kind of emotions you're getting from that, and learn how to interpret them, and not just jump to conclusions and get stuck into all the belief systems. You're building that foundation, and this Queen of Wands here is telling me that you're getting where you need to be going. She's the mother of beliefs. She's driven by the drive of the heart. So it's all about your heart opening here. You have the strength to do it. You have the strength to be loving, compassionate with yourself and with the world. And again, there's the infinity right here on the head. You may get access to some type of information that's, as I said, very universal. Maybe Akashic records, maybe archetypal understanding of the world, or maybe like, a deep understanding of how the world works in your terms, something that you understand. We may have like, maybe we all of us already jump to the understand that we are love, and that, I don't know, we live in a non-dual world. Or maybe we didn't. Maybe some of us are questioning this, or maybe we need to get to this conclusion from different aspects of my life. Yeah, maybe a part of me that's more spiritual takes this for granted, but maybe the more sciencey part of myself, I don't really see thoughts here, which is interesting. But maybe my mind is not always on board with everything. When I'm supposed to go out there and just do my work, that maybe it's not related to this. It's, sometimes we can compartmentalize. That's what I'm trying to say here, and babbling about it. But I think that you're bringing different parts of yourself together, and you allow yourself to be open to it, and you allow yourself to get the knowledge that you need to go at a deeper level. That's again coming straight from the source, my love. All right, don't remember how these were, things like that. Let's put out a card from the Rumi Oracle. Let's get some wisdom of the heart about how to keep that heart open. So it's a nice journey you have here. The right choice. That sounds a little bit too serious, given the rest of the reading. 29. 29, what are you? Okay, so the poem from Rumi associated with these beautiful cards says, I hope you can see it: stay close to those who know about the heart. Choose the shade of a tree that is in constant bloom. Don't meander aimlessly among the herb seller and potion vendors. Go directly to the shop that sells nothing but sweets. Don't sit waiting by every boiling pot to have your plate filled. Not every boiling pot is cooking what you want. Not every sugar cane is filled with sugar. Not every down has an up. Not every eye has vision. Not every sea contains pearls. That's pretty much what I feel in here with this card, if you look at it. You can't take every emotion so seriously, and you can't wait that each and every experience that you're going through is going to come up with I don't know, the not every down has an up, not every eye has vision, not every sea contains pearls. So yeah, the right choice. Let's go read some of this. Okay, So on the path of love, there is not so much wrong and right in the moral sense, so much as what is wrong or right for you. The mind cannot help so much here. Only the heart can speak such truths. That's why you need it to be open. The mind may reject it, recall, analyze, and find all the reasons why the simple truth, the right choice of the heart, cannot possibly work and only lead to pain. That is what the mind does rather well, actually, but it doesn't mean that the right choice, the heart choice, becomes incorrect. It means rather than that the heart has outsmarted the mind, and the mind will need to bow to the heart even without understanding its sometimes impenetrable mysteries. Or one can choose to stay in inner conflict, fighting against the right choice, but eventually love will prevail and the way forward must be taken. Okay, let me go to, this is a long read. Oh, I like this phrase. It is said that one man's meat is another man's poison. To base your choices on what others have chosen for themselves may end up killing you. Yes, that's what I was saying earlier. With I don't even know why we were talking about. Well, I was talking about comparing yourself with the others and what their life journey. I think that's reinforcing that. So better to take your risks on the angel of your own heart, wise as that being is, and dance to your own heart rhythm instead. Okay, I'll go to the guidance. Okay, so this oracle comes with a message for you. In your heart, you know what holds meaning for you. You may or may not have a grand vision to go along with that meaning as yet, but deep within, you know what is without value and what holds value for you. There we go, my love. That's why are all these, like the sevens, talk about figuring out what's valuable for you, right? It's checking in, it's tasting into it, sorting out what works and what doesn't. You were born with those values intact in your heart, and whatever confusion has a reason for you, that's also confusion, along the way is just where the values of others have transfused into your own blood. It is time for a transfusion of holy light into that blood. This beauty. Uh, It is time for a transfusion of holy light into that blood to be cleansed and purified, restored to its integrity, and filled with passion for what is rightfully yours, your unique passion and purpose. I'm so glad that this is being reinforced here. If you have been concerned about your path and what steps to take next, this oracle comes as an omen of good things headed your way. Clarity, reassurance, truth, and revelation. Don't hold on to a belief system or vision if it appears to be tossed on its head. Let things go the way they will, and good fortune will prevail for you. I like it so much that it talks about these belief systems, because that's kind of like that's a theme, part of the theme for you now, especially in the present moment. Let things go the way they will, and good fortune will prevail for you. That wisdom might actually have been upside down all this time. No, that vision might actually have been upside down all this time and suddenly able to right itself and be born for you if allowed to topple. Or perhaps there is a more fulfilling version of your vision lurking in its remnants, to be scooped up by your soul with the hope, vision, and eagle deftness. Trust that if you're being drawn away from a tantalizing sweet shop, there is a more delicious array of confection just around the corner for you. So yes, have your tantrum if you must, but you will be sheepish soon when you realize the hand of the great beloved that removes is the same hand that bestows even greater gifts. So basically what this is saying is that if you're concerned that, I don't know, sometimes things aren't working in the way that you thought they should be working, it looks a little bit like the devil to me. Interesting. Talking about sweets and stuff. Huh. Sorry. So yeah, basically what this is saying is that yeah, I think don't get too attached to a way that this the path should look for you. If something doesn't work for you, simply take it not as a failure, but as a way of the divine guiding you or steering you in a different direction. If the person you had a crush on doesn't like you back, there's nothing wrong with you. It's like, okay, that's probably not the person for you right now, not what you need to experience. If the business venture or the job or the people that you try to get close to don't seem to open up, or the job isn't, you don't get a job, or the business doesn't work, is not necessarily you're doing something wrong or it's a failure. Is that okay? That's not where I need to be. Listen in. I think you get a lot of guidance right now, also especially with these two infinity signs over here. And the Queen of Wands is very intuitive. She's very mystical. She's very connected, and so is the Empress. So trust your feminine intuition here, and you'll be just fine, my dear. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading was helpful for you, and I hope it makes sense. If it resonates, please like, share, and subscribe. It's really important because it helps my channel grow. Feel free to comment if you how this works for you and how it plays out for you. And yes, I'll see you here soon. Have a wonderful full moon and March, and may our practice benefit all beings.